Good morning, YouTube. This is Mallory George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. I hope wakey, don't touch snaky. We have a lovely lady here, a special guest. We have her, and she is from the UK. As you know, I'm fan ladies from the UK. There's some been amazing women that represent women bodybuilding over the years that came from Great Britain. And this lady, she gave us some time, and I do appreciate her time. Whatever time I can get with these ladies, it's fun. So we have here the lovely Miss Lisa Elizabeth. And ma'am, introduce yourself and share your story, how you get in such a masculine, muscular sport like bodybuilding.
Hmm. What did you say? Sorry.
I said, how do you get into the sport of
Oh,
bodybuilding?
great. Because I was a personal trainer, and I was always in fitness. I was a dancer, and then I stopped dancing and was like, still need to keep fit. So went to the gym, and then I ended up qualifying as a coach, personal trainer, fitness instructor, and I'd done that for years. And people used to always say to me that I should compete, because I was naturally quite muscular, but a lot smaller than I am now. But people would say, "Oh, you should compete," and I was like, "It's not really for me. I don't really want to do it." And then about 5 years ago, I felt as though I was training without a goal, because I was just training to stay looking good and to keep in shape, but I didn't really have a goal, and training was becoming not so enjoyable because I didn't know why I was doing it. So I was in a new gym, and the guys in the gym were all coaches and bodybuilders, and they were like, "Look, you need to compete." And I was like still saying no. And then one day I thought, right, that would be my goal. So I called one of them and said, "Look, I'm going to have a little go. I'm going to compete." And I said, "But maybe at the end of the year, let's put some work in first." And he messaged me the next day and he said, "No, you start prep tomorrow." So I'd done a 16-week prep into my first show. I wasn't a bikini girl. I was straight in at like figure. I was never ever a bikini girl. So, because like I said, I was already pretty muscular, and I won my first show, and it was a pretty big show as well. It wasn't like a little side street show, and I won it. So, and the buzz I got when I won it was like undescribable. It was like the best feeling on earth. Like, I've gone through this prep, like it's hard work, and then I didn't expect to win. Didn't expect it. I thought it's my first time. I'm not going to win, and the whole name was, and I was like, oh my god! Like, it was just. I was on high for 2 weeks later. Still on a high 2 weeks after that. It was just amazing. So I was addicted then. I was
Yeah.
addicted.
I'm gonna act like Billy Thornton from Sling Blade. I like the way you talk.
The accent.
Yeah.
And I hate the accent because it's not even a traditional English accent. I've got a northern accent, so I have to slow it down for you guys, because if I speak my normal speed, you're not understanding me.
Well, what people tell me, so sometimes when I talk, so I'm from North Carolina,
Okay.
and down south we talk a little slower. But
Yeah.
when I speak, sometimes I speak a little fast because I have more of a. Some people say I have more of a northern, like up north, like around about. I used to go when I was going to school. My friends would tell me, George, where you from, man? Chicago, New York, New Jersey. I used to one time tell somebody, yeah, actually from New Jersey. I was born in New Jersey, but my family moved down here, and yeah, but no, but I'm from North Carolina. It's just that when I was a kid, my sister made me watch educated television. That's where I got my speech from.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's like
So, mhm,
accents, isn't it? Everyone has different accents, but like I said, I do have to slow it down. I have to sort of pronounce words properly for you guys, because if we have our accent, we shorten words. We have like slang. We have what we call scouse. It's like slang speech. So I couldn't speak like that for you, because I've got an Uber here one time, and the lady actually said, "Oh, sorry, you're not English." I was like, "I'm exactly English." So
yeah, I know. I think there's like different, especially in the UK. It's different. You have the more like from Londoners, where like pip pip and cheerio, and then you have those people from Wales. They're kind of a little thicker accent,
yeah, so
and
we have like London, which is the Queen's English. Well, I say that we have London, which is like the Queen's English and really well spoken, and then obviously you have people who are from London who are, they talk like that, they're Cockney, and then obviously us who are Northern, and then right up to North, though, the accents change as you go up. All the accents change, and sorry, I'm just going to put the other phone on silent.
that's all right.
um, Notifications by the minute. And then But then obviously if you go into Scotland, the accent's a completely another thing
That
again.
heavy brogue.
They have their own language. Welsh, Welsh people actually, they speak English, but they also speak Welsh. And then obviously Ireland's another accent. Now we often get compared to the Irish accent. My accent can be compared to the Irish one, probably the most similar.
Yeah, like top of the morning to you.
Sorry.
Say like top of the morning.
Yeah, the Irish, yeah. Yeah.
I think the first British person I ever met in my life was a few years ago when I had to get my pacemaker. And I was talking with my first doctor I was talking to was he was an Indian doctor. He's from India. Saying, Mr. McCarthy, we have to get you in weight because you're under so. And then next thing you know, I knew it was serious when the British doctor came in and said, Mr. McCarthy, we have to put your fracture rate's under 12%. We must have you in surgery immediately. And that's when I first experience with somebody from Britain. Yeah, but like I said, being the sport, like I said, you was figure, then went physique and bodybuilding. You ever notice how that the divisions are starting to meld a little bit between bodybuilding and physique?
So I started out in figure and then was advised to move up to physique. When I went to enter physique, I was told not to bother and to go straight into WBB.
WBBIGG, yeah, I know.
Advised to go straight into women's bodybuilding because I was too thick and dense and had more of a look of a bodybuilder than a physique girl. But what happened is they banned the bodybuilding for so long, whole saga of that. And then when they brought it back, which was just before I went into bodybuilding, they brought it back. Obviously then the criteria slightly changed because you've got the figure girls, then you've got the physique, and then you've got the bodybuilders. But how do you differentiate between the physique girl and the bodybuilder? So basically, whereas before, because there was no bodybuilding, there was kind of general class of physique, it then made the physique girl sort of an in-between a bodybuilder and a figure girl. So like a smaller bodybuilder, shall we say. But it makes it hard to sort of like differentiate, shall we say. Now, and then what they would do is on some competitions, they wouldn't put bodybuilding on. So on the regionals, they wouldn't put it on. So we have to do a regional to qualify. So I would do a regional and have to get on stage with the physique girls. But when you actually look at me on stage with the physique, I looked ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just didn't fit because I look too thick and too dense.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a bit annoying because obviously because it was like they should really, even if there's not as many bodybuilders, put that class on because it's making you look like you've not hit the criteria on stage. But it's the whole politics of bodybuilding, I suppose.
Yeah, I think that's just the one thing about it. It's like I remember one lady I think you know by name Lisa Cross. I know you know Lisa Cross. You both from Great Britain.
Yeah.
Back in 2013, her and Virginia Sanchez, they earned their pro cards.
Yeah.
And then that was the last time they had, because I think the NPC kind of pushed out from women's bodybuilding. And and that was like we didn't for a good while we didn't see a good crop of bodybuilders from Europe because people like Jay Fuchs and Lisa Cross, Virginia Sanchez, and UK has had a good history of female bodybuilders like Bernie Price, Paula Birkinshaw, yourself, and you can't forget Lisa Cross, and even the late Joanna Thomas, and Judah Bichette, who I believe who should have been Miss Olympia. I don't know why they did the two Miss Olympia things. That was kind of like a BS thing. But I think what European bodybuilders bring in is a certain level of muscle development compared to Americans. I think it's still growing. I think for a good part, in some areas of Europe, it's still growing. As the interviews raised from in like Eastern Europe, like around Czech Republic and Germany, and said that it took a while for it to grow because the fact is because those areas because it was under communist reign. But bodybuilding in Europe has really has started to grow a little bit more in the last few years, thanks to Wings of Strength, as they promoted people like Alina Popa and others promoting bodybuilding.
Yeah,
and giving them more foot.
Yeah, I think I mean, up until like even at right now, I think I can count on one hand how many female bodybuilders there actually is in the UK. It's such a small amount. Next time I compete, I'm going to have to go further afield because it's not worth me competing in the UK.
Yeah.
There's not enough of us. But But yeah, it's a shame really, but it's hard to get to though. Like genetics plays such a big part in it. I was lucky enough to be. I'm small. I'm short.
Yeah.
Muscles are shorter than thicker. So, and I was always naturally athletic, and I built muscle. I built muscle really easily. I never had to like it's so hard for a female to build a lot of muscle. It's so hard, and then getting your proportions right. So, like some females will build muscle in a certain area, but not in another area. It's a hard class to get into. It's also a hard class to diet down for because we have to be so past the point of no return. Like we have to be so styrated. We have to be like literally inside out and vascular and like literally like we have to push it so far compared to the likes of the figure girls or the bikini girls. So
Yeah.
our is like so hard.
Yeah. Well, like it's a small saying like when your ladies rock hard, we're rock hard. So and it's the truth because because it's tough for you. We got some people coming through here. My man, Never Born. Yep. To agree, top tier in terms of fitness and bodybuilding, female. Also, shout out to my boy Gio for this interview. Glad to see channel growing from strength to strength. Appreciate my man, Never Born. Also, my man here, Lawrence Perkins, he says, good morning, Lisa, George, and everyone in the chat. Appreciate your man, Lawrence. Also, he has a question. Miss Elizabeth, have you ever done any acting or participated in any other things outside of bodybuilding? And yeah, it's because I know because I saw her do an interview with man KL over there, the Wanderer. And she does, if you are interested, guys, she does have OnlyFans. So you want to follow her there. And also, she has done some video and photo sessions during your career. Because I know.
So I've done different things. I've done some wrestling stuff. I've done some boxing stuff. I've done various different things, which they all want to bodybuild and look for. Yeah, so like various different things that I do.
Yeah, the boxing stuff. I don't know. Yeah, if I box you, I'd be too much. I won't be clinching you. I won't be holding you too much. Like yeah.
Wrestling stuff. I'm not a wrestler. I'm not a wrestler or a boxer. But obviously, the whole muscular look looks good on film. So it's more of a fun thing. We'll do it for like, you know, for clips for sale and stuff like that. That's what.
Yeah. Well, I'm a country boy. We don't fight with our hands. We wrestle. So
Wrestle.
yeah, and the rest of it, that's like I said. That's when we talking Kale. That's the thing where a lot of ladies make your income sometimes because it's harder. You don't have sponsors. You just heard recently, We Need Strength, their Bachelor Brand program has been shut down. They're supposed to be going another route, but it's harder for women in bodybuilding unless you're bikini. Now wellness or even some physique and figure competitors, it's harder for women's bodybuilding to get sponsors.
Yeah.
And some of you ladies have to find a way to make income in between shows and stuff like that. You do like some stuff like sites I follow like Her Biceps, Muscle Girl Lives.
This is it. Whole OnlyFans thing because we have such a specific look. We're so niche. It's just such a niche being a bodybuilder. Like obviously everyone's got an OnlyFans, but we've got a certain look. So it's our OnlyFans is aimed at the whole muscle worship world, the whole domination world. It's a different kind of, obviously it can be generalized into other things, but we have a specific look. So, it's kind of, I mean, I've realized that there's more guys out there that like the look than you think because I used to think everyone hates the look. Everyone hates how women bodybuilders look. But I done it for me. I wasn't bothered what guys thought. But like now, obviously being in that world for so long, I've realised that so many guys and so many who don't actually admit it love muscular women. Some guys will put it out there, some guys won't. Because when they see it as if they admit that they like muscular girls, it's like a bit of a gay thing. So like, but it's
that's the funny part about it. It's like if guys like myself who are into women like you, we defer as being gay. But the fact is, you're a woman, you're a female, you're a woman. I'm looking at you right now.
Exactly.
And yeah, it doesn't make sense where if it was one thing if I was like I have a man crush on Vin Diesel. That's another different story. But it's one thing if I was like looking at pictures of guys like I like Arnold Schwarzenegger as a kid because that was what got me a bodybuilder because guys like Arnold Schwarzenegger, he didn't like that.
Yeah.
And those guys were pretty amazing. Guys grew up. I used to watch those guys on TV and movies and cartoons. But you women are something different. It's just something about you, just how you take the women's how women take their bodies and change it from what people usually think women are, soft and feminine, and your muscles, you're ripped, you're shredded, especially when you're contest ready. Like I said again, it's just something about you, just like we'll just say awe at you, and and it's funny how these guys be saying, well, she's trying to be a man, but then at the same time they'll send you a DM saying like, I think you're pretty. Can I be your
Yeah,
boyfriend?
I mean, I've had that comment. I've been out and somebody said, "Are you female?" And I'm like, "Fuck off." I'm allowed to say that on here.
Yeah, you
Like,
say that. We don't.
but like, I was like, serious. Like, it's so annoying. Like, come on, I'm not a man.
Yeah, you're not a man. You're a very pretty woman. My man, Lawrence Perkins says, Miss Lisa, a pleasure to follow you on your journey. Also, we got here, my man, Tyrone. America don't care which area the British accent hits us. America's alike. Yeah. And my man, God's Will says, hey, George, and all the rage. And also, Neverborn, Lawrence, my man, good to see you. Welcome to the chat. Yeah, I appreciate you. And also, you know, uh, he's saying he's also both to also like, hellos to everybody else. And my man here, Hamilton, how here I have no shame. I dig women with muscles or without. If she has a great personality, and that's awesome as well. And that's the thing is, yeah, I think people overlook like you got to realize that you're still a woman,
Yeah,
and you have your hair lights done, and when you got your suits and like folks. I'm gonna show you some stuff for her because she's on you want to follow her. She does have an IG. It's in the description. You can check her out, and also you can follow her on her social media platforms. And I think, like I said, you're a lovely lady, and we're gonna show you some pics real quick from her social media if you're interested in looking, fellas. Because, like I said, we're like this. It's great to have you like here on here and to tell their story and share their paths. Let me see. I think I'm trying to get it up here. Excuse me. Yeah, I usually have prepared, but it was so like I said, we'll go here to Instagram real quick, and and what you have done during your career. Competitive bodybuilder, dancer, just so much you have done. You still feel like you have more to do as an athlete and as a woman.
yeah, because I sort of gone as far as I could go in the UK, and I feel as though I want to spread my wings and compete here in the US to see how it is, to see how different it is, to experience it. I also want to push my physique that little bit more. You'll find bodybuilders are always striving to be better, and I don't think I've gone as far as I can go. I feel as though I can get my physique can develop more, so I'm not done with that yet. Like obviously, I'm in like a health phase right now, so I'm giving my body a break. I'm eating a lot of food. I'm training hard, and then when I get home, I'm going to go into a diet phase next Monday, and that'll see how I've developed since I last sort of like stripped down a little bit. But yeah, I don't think you can. There's always somewhere to go for a bodybuilder. There's always improvements to make, and I'm definitely not done. I love competing. I love the process. I love the whole prep, even though it's hard as shit. Like, but it's like it's a good feeling when you get on the stage and you've completed it. And yeah, I think there's a lot more for me to do still.
Because I think you had competed since 2021 was the last time you competed, right?
I last competed in 2021, and I really, really, really pushed myself, and I was quite sick after the competition, and
Uh,
had no break for 5 years. I just like competed and then do a short off season and compete, short off season and compete. So that year I got me sored, and I was just like, do you know what? Like there was no bodybuilders left in the UK for me to go against. So I thought, right, this is the time to take a year off. But I've had that year off now. So I've had the year off. I've travelled. I've like literally like I've sort of got a bit more well known. And this year, when I go into this diet on Monday, this will be for me to then decide what competition to do this year, um, whether it be in Europe or whether it be in the States. Um, But yeah, I haven't decided which comp yet because we want to see, like, obviously the whole bodybuilding situation. You've got to see how many bodybuilders are going to be at watch. We get a rough idea of what bodybuilders are going to be at the show. So obviously, because you do want some competition, so I'm going to speak to my coach, sit down, decide what we do, and there will be a show at the end of this year, possibly. Well, there should be, because I wouldn't be having another year off. But yeah, that's basically it.
Well, I think a good show, Robbie, if it's a show that's all, I think it's after the Olympia because the Olympia is moving to Orlando this year,
Yeah.
and a show. I remember I said this. I said the thing to. I was watching the interview KL. I told him the remaining Muscle Fest. That's a pro qualifier.
Yeah, Romania. Yeah, Romania is a big one. There's also the Spanish one as well. The Spanish.
Europa.
Yeah, that one as well. I'm just not sure on dates. That's what we've got to sit down and look at. Just got to sit down where I fit, and where I think. I mean, I was here last year, and I'd done a shoot for Annie Ravesio, and she was trying to get me because I was really lean. I was almost comp ready, and she wanted me to do the Chicago Pro that time, but I had to go home for my daughter's wedding, and
Oh,
so
you have a daughter.
yeah, she was like, really, you need to do it. You're practically, you're 4 weeks out. She said, you're less than 4 weeks out. She said, you need to do the show. And I said, I'd love to, but I needed to not. That was my year off, even though I was lean and I looked like comp ready. I just done that because I wanted to. Like, I don't want to walk around like this like all the time,
Yeah.
like chunky.
Yeah. And is your daughter? She's proud of you. Her mom, who could probably beat up somebody's dad.
Yeah, I've got twin girls. I've got twins.
Oh, girls.
Daughters, and when I very first told them I was going to compete 5 years ago, they didn't actually speak to me for 3 days. No, you're absolutely not getting. Yeah, I said, "Oh, behave," and they were like, "No,
oh, behave,
And then, like, anyway, after when they realised how irrational they were being, my sister kind of talked them down and said she's just going to do a bodybuilding competition. So they were like, okay, and now they are like my biggest fans. They're like my biggest fans. They've been to all of my shows. They get so excited, like more than they get as excited as I do. They've come to every show, like when we've stayed for the weekend and being there. They love it. Like.
That's great. A man never born also says that there are very few who are well-rounded in all traits, and Miss Elizabeth is one of those talented few. Also, God's will says pretty hard doing female bodybuilding. Also, a man never born says Gio is true top cat, slick, smooth, and a master of wordplay. Thank you, brother. And also, never born says to Miss Elizabeth, how is Arizona treating you? You have enjoyed your time in the U.S. He's wondering if you've ever been to the U.S. lately. How when last time you've been to the U.S.?
How long have I been here?
When the last time you've been to the U.S.?
I'm here now. I'm in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah, that's really good. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm in Atlanta.
Yeah. And also, man, Lawrence Perkins, I just came through a little bit from my schedule, a little busy. Yeah, he's showing support. Also, my man, Raheem said, I see she looks like NBA gear. She like NBA gear. So you're wearing what shirt you wearing? That's the Milwaukee Bucks.
I don't know. I just like the color.
You like the color, the green? Yeah. Yeah.
I like a shot and buying all these t-shirts. I don't know what the teams are. I haven't got a clue.
Well, sports is different because what you call football in your country is rugby. We call it here football.
You call it football.
And you call football soccer, and it's kind of
yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of just like it's a lot of like because I remember I was talking with one person, he just say you Americans, I think it was a lady who's from Australia, say like how you Americans you play football, you got the gear stuff like that, and they don't have it. I remember one time she said like you put a bandage on, then you call a sissy. Say, well, hey, I'll be a sissy, I gotta put a bandage on, But folks, we don't have but so much time with Miss Lovely Miss Elizabeth because I know she's a busy lady. And I do appreciate the time she got. But we're hoping maybe down the line we can do a part 2.
Yeah, you can do it later in the week when I'm back in the UK.
Yeah, because like I said, I love really getting to these stories with you and talk more about you, especially more about your daughters and yourself. As you know, there's quite a few women in sport of bodybuilding. Now you see there's more women who have families, they have kids, and have children. Not to me back in the day. I think it was only a handful. I remember like people like Krista Bach, Dan Dennis, Yaxinio King was the first mom Miss Olympia. You know, there was one lady, Judy Miller, Michelle Brandt. There were so many few women, good part of the '90s and '80s, but there's still growth of women. And now you have now the coming up the masters. We're seeing more mature women come into bodybuilding. You
Yeah.
know, it's a really good thing. But folks, like I said, I do enjoy the moment she gave me. I don't want to hold her up too long because I know she's a busy lady. But if you're interested, follow her. Her social media stuff is in the description. Check her out, follow her, support her path into bodybuilding. You know, I would love to really get in touch with her, but I know she's a busy lady. But guys, this is my rule. I tell it to guys, and this is no offense to you, but I tell it to the guys out here: no D pics. Stop it.
Definitely no. I,
Don't do that. I know she's pretty. You see her pics, she's just fire plug, plump, big muscles, and you got like, oh my god, I got pop 10. No, women don't like that shit. No, don't stop that.
no.
Stop that. Think about it before you say it. But I do appreciate people came through. My man Neverborn, Raheem, Lawrence Perkins, God's Will. I do appreciate y'all time. Like I said, we're hoping once things get settled back in the UK, we get to do part two.
Yeah, we
Get
can.
more.
When I'm back in the UK, I got loads of time. Like,
Yeah.
I'm flying tomorrow, so I've got things to do today. But yeah, I've got plenty of time. We can go back on, get
Yeah.
back on.
Well, like I said, just pick the time. I'll
Cool.
set it up,
Yeah,
and we just put it in. Blah, 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 we get it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
All right. So I can thank you and appreciate you for your time and good luck, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your time in the US.
Bye bye. Bye
All right.
bye.
Bye bye. Bye. So anyway, guys, I do like to thank the lovely Miss Lisa Elizabeth. I know you guys really wanted to really ask more questions and other stuff like that, but she's a busy lady. She was able to give me this few minutes of her time. But while we're here, and since I got this time, I don't got much else to do. You guys want something you want to talk about, even though I give you another 20 minutes, like my man, Neverborn says to Miss Elizabeth, Arizona Treating. Oh, you just repeating Neverborn. Also, while I'm here, as I just saw on Female Bodyman channel, that some women have announced that they're gonna be doing the Vancouver Pro in April. And as you know, I'm a Female Bodyman channel. I like their stuff. They really stay up on what's going on in the world of women's bodybuilding. So I'm going to go here quick and see it's on their IG, and I follow these guys, and they announced, and I saw they posted that some women have announced that they're planning to compete at this year's, you know, at the at the at the Vancouver Pro, and also we have another announcement. We have a new IFBB Pro, and I'm gonna share it with y'all guys real quick. And she competed. I think she last competed about 2 years ago, and that was at the. She did the New York Pro and the Puerto Rico Pro, and that is Julie Wales, I think it is. Yeah, Julia, Wales, or was I think her name is? I believe her name is, and she has now announced that she's switching over to Welzel. She's switching over to women's physique and to women's bodybuilding. So we have a new body. Now we hadn't seen her compete since she competed at the New York back in 2021, and she did also the Puerto Rico Pro that same year. And I think it's probably a good move for her because I think she's a little taller. I think it's more distance for her. She says that this is from the Female Bodybuilding channel that she announced that she will be doing, and it's on here that they posted it. She's she's going to be doing the Vancouver Island Showdown. And that's in April. And it's good that we're getting, even though we don't have enough shows for women bodybuilding, we're getting a new crop of female bodybuilders. Also announcing that they're going to be competing this year is also from the Female Body channel is Christina Mendoza, who we have not seen since 2021 when she competed at the Chicago Pro, and I think she also did I think she did Chicago and I want to say Savannah too. She's Savannah 2020. So I think she did 2021. She was supposed to do Rising Phoenix in 2021, but then she kind of dropped out. Also announcing during that same show is also Andrea Saria, the love Miss Sawa. I keep in contact with her. She hadn't competed since 2021. So it's been about at least about almost 2 years she's competed, and she made the switch to bodybuilding in 2020. She also made a debut at the Savannah Pro, and then also Sherry Priami is going to be doing the show. And Sherry, we have not seen Sherry in a good while, and Sherry was on the verge of going to the Olympia. So much shout out to Sherry Priami. I mean, I hope she was at one point. I thought she would maybe do one more show and get her Olympia qualification. Maybe do like because she wasn't invited to the Rising Phoenix, and I thought Sherry might do the either Romanian Muscle Fest or the Europa Championship. But because when somebody told me her daughter, or I think one of her kids was sick, her daughter or son, something like that was sick, and she decided to take a step back and focus on them. But so that's some good news, you know. But and you know, but I do appreciate your guys' time. I know you want to spend more time with the lovely Miss Lisa Elizabeth, but she is a busy lady. She's only here in the United States for a good bit, and and just like I said, I hope we can do. Like I said, I hope we can do part two, because 30 minutes is not enough, folks. 30 minutes is not enough. By the time you really get into conversation, start talking, it's just over. You know. But guys, I do appreciate you guys. Raheem Hamilton, my man Lawrence Perkins, Neverborn, God's Will, all the other guys who came through here and to support my videos, my content. I do appreciate y'all. I really do. But like I said, we will have part two once she gets back to the UK, because I think she's here in the States. She's got things she got to do, and and I do hope she's we'll have a better conversation. But like I said, if I mean the other day, y'all had a lot to talk about with me and my man, especially you, Raheem. When me and my man Jared was on, we wanted to end it out. And, Raheem and KL, they kept holding us up. But now I got a few extra minutes. Y'all got nothing to say? You got nothing to say? Okay. So folks, like I said, I do thank the lovely Miss Lisa Elizabeth for her time. I thank you guys again. Next time we'll have a little more fun. But I do appreciate y'all support of my content and support these days out here. So this is me, Always Yours page. Don't like, subscribe. I'm out.